It's a funny old world. For a few years now, I have been asking the question, is the great creator of the big book finally fulfilling his word, implementing his end times plan? Or if it's something else entirely, and wondering how many people are going to believe it is really happening. And now we see evidence of the great creator of these three big belief systems doing his theological thing. On the one hand, reports of US troops being told that this war is for the great creator of this book and his plan for the end times. And then we have those that see the dropping of bombs and all the devastation as the act of their loving great creator, now fulfilling his holy word.
Because you and I look at the world through a Jewish lens, a biblical lens, and you and I know, and I assume many of our viewers also can see, that we are very clearly in the end of days from a Jewish standpoint.
We've seen the representatives of this faith and the new leader of Iran being reportedly obsessed with the end times, and we've seen how many top influencers are recommending that everybody get on board with his divine plan, and the mainstream media reinforcing the idea that we are maybe, just maybe, heading toward an end time scenario. Coming out of Europe, with the actual boss of Russia Today talking about the end times on Russian state TV.
Дорогой, знаешь, в Америке есть такое выражение «I told you so». Это я к тому, что вот то, о чем ты говоришь, что мы живем в предпоследние времена. Сейчас будет ядерная война, и времена настанут последние. Возвращаешься в эфир, а тут конец света.
But all now praying for the other New World Order of the great creator when he establishes his new world, as foretold in the big book, when he wins in the end, established as the supreme divine creator of everything. Back in mid-2025, I made a prediction in a post made over 8 months before the latest round of action in the Middle East, in which I said to expect the next round of action to happen there in February-March of 2026, which it most definitely did. And from part 17 of this series, when I even highlighted a period from the 18th of February to the 2nd of March to keep an eye on. And how I arrived at that time period was by looking at actual Hebrew dates within a biblical book, the Book of Esther, the very same book that the members of that faith are now declaring as being the divine inspiration for the latest round of action in the Middle East.
And so the holiday commemorating the fall of Haman the Agagite, a descendant of Amalek, which happened in Persia, it's all happening again, right? So the question is this coincidence? The Iranian supreme leader Ayatollah, do not read Khamenei, read Khamenei. He sounds like Haman. The rabbis read Haman in the name Khamenei.
And in part 17, I compared DT to the biblical Mordecai from the Book of Esther, the origin of Purim, who back in 2025, on the Gregorian equivalent of this date, announced that he was thinking about joining the conflict in the Middle East during June of 2025. And I showed how DT may have been resonating very strongly with that biblical character. And then 8 months, 8 days after he decided to take out Iran's nuke facilities as reported, DT once again decided to act very much like Mordecai and begin military action, destroying the Ayatollah of the old faux Persia, Khamenei, the new Haman.